Hello everybody! Welcome, welcome. We have a special guest today.
Wow. I guess I'm a special guest. Who could figure that out?
Jason is in the house and I just wanted to jump in here. Actually, we wanted to jump in here. We're in the middle of a really exciting project, which we're going to be announcing soon. But for now, I just wanted to answer some of the questions that you guys asked last week. And at the end, we'll answer any questions. Like I'll look at the chat afterwards. But Natalie!
Hello, Natalie.
So good to see you. I love you. I can't wait to meet you in person. It's happening. It's happening. So first question is from Fanny. And Fanny asked a very good question. So she's just attended a yoga and healing retreat, and a Reiki healer did a Reiki for me, and we have a deep connection. She has helped me to open my heart and balance all the energy inside. During the interaction, I felt a deep unconditional, here's the question. So during the interaction, I felt a deep unconditional love and acceptance from her. During the days of staying there in the retreat, I felt a change in me where I feel more grounded and relaxed and it's easier for me to meet new friends and open my heart. But, here's the but. The moment I go back to my environment, I am feeling like going back to my old pattern. I become anxious, not grounded, heart started to close. I miss the time where I was there with an open heart. Do you know why this happened and how to break through and continue to be open-hearted when I go back to my environment? Your advice is appreciated. First of all, Fanny, thank you for your question. Have any of you guys ever gone through this experience where you've gone to a retreat?
No, I mean, never coming back from vacation. You don't feel like you're compressed or suppressed back into an old way.
Yeah, or especially a retreat, right? Like you've opened your heart, you're in a safe container. Because what's happening is when you're at a retreat or a workshop or in a conscious community, and you're in this you're basically in a little bubble of sorts. And in that bubble, you are ultimately held so safely that there's no need for defense. So the heart can blossom, the love can open, and trust is built, right? You're in the space of your natural, normal state, which is trusting, abundant, peaceful, clear, inspired, loving. And when we go back into our environments, obviously the context of the mainstream world is not built to lead with an open heart, because there's a lot of fear and a lot of anxiety driven behavior in our world. So how do you, what I hear in your question, how do you actually keep your heart open in your environment that's not really conducive to having an open heart? So we are really wanting to speak to this, because if you are right now, even if you haven't gone on retreat, if let's say you went outside in nature and you meditate in the morning, you have your practice, and then you have to go into a job or some scenario that's super intense. First, we want to say that it's like a very natural to kind of like I think of a lotus. A lotus flower is always opening and closing. Opening and closing. So the mind will say, I should always be blissed out and open.
You shouldn't be? Wow.
And that's not necessarily the case.
That's true.
We're human. We have multifacets. We have all kinds of feelings. We have different sides of our personality. We have all these different emotions, 4 primary emotions. One of the biggest reasons why our world is so, how do I say this politically correctly?
Askew?
Askew. Thank you. Askew, out of alignment. Yeah, is because there's this belief that when my heart is closed, when my heart is closed, or if I'm angry, or if I'm fearful, something's wrong, something's off. And it's actually just part of being human, part of nature, right? And I really hear you, Fanny. We're going to get to your question, how to support you in it, but it's really important first to build a foundation of radical self-acceptance. You would never look out in nature and be like, it's raining, this world's going to hell in a handbasket. You'd be like, oh, it's raining. So when you're crying or when you're sad, can that be just like a weather pattern that comes through? Or when the heart closes up, can that be an opportunity to sit and be with whatever's arising in you, even the block?
And we were watching Muji last night because it's one of our things we love to do. So if you haven't, why not? And he speaks of this with anxiety, which is something that I so align with, or we so align with so many things, is it's here. So why not embrace it? It's here. Whatever feeling is here is welcome, okay? Actually, can you actually invite the feeling to fully be here? Not where you're trying to push it away into the corner, but can you actually open fully to the experience, fully to the emotion, whether it's joyous or misery? Can you fully open to it? Because if there's any part of us resisting it, we're actually inviting it in more. We're inviting it to fight with us, because resistance is fight.
Yeah.
The other piece of this, which Veronica was alluding to getting to, is I just wrote about this because I had a client coming back from the Maldives and saying, why can't I feel like I feel so open in the Maldives? I feel so happy. I feel like we're at the beach. Everything's great. Why can't I feel? And then I come back, and within a day, it's terrible here. And I said, how about? I said, you have a great room. How about create the Maldives in your room? And she's like, create the Maldives in my room. Mind you, in the blog, I spelled the Maldives wrong, but it doesn't matter because it's how you feel. It doesn't matter how you spell.
Too.
You can embrace the misspeller. So you get to bring some of that retreat home. And how do you do that? Accountability. So have a partner who's holding you into creating that at home. You need accountability. You had accountability when you're on the retreat because people are there holding you in that space. Now it's more, you need to hold that space and have other people supporting you in doing that.
Yeah, it's like your friend at the retreat, your guide or teacher gave you a touchstone. Hey, Fanny, and to any of you watching, this is who you really are. And this is what it feels like to be unconditionally loved. This is what it looks like to be truly seen. And so she was just an outer reflection of the diamond self, of the dimension of you that's able to embrace yourself unconditionally. And the power, it's like she's basically passed the torch to you to say, now it's your turn to hold yourself the way I've held you during this retreat. I'm curious for you guys here live or even later watching this, is there a part of you, a facet of you that you really don't like? You would do anything to get rid of. If it's, let's say, the part of you that gets angry or jealous or moody or bitchy or angry.
How about the Donald Trump in you? If you don't like the Donald Trump out there, how about do you embrace it inside? Because we are everything. And there's certain words and languages and all of these things, feelings that we're uncomfortable with. Can you embrace and love those?
Yeah. Natalie's like, oh, geez, yes.
Well,
this is really big work. Like, I know we're putting this lightly, like, hey, what part of you do you basically despise? And can you actually love this part of you? But really, when you have the courage to look at the thing that's been projected onto other people and actually own it, right? Really own that as well. If I can see it in another, maybe part of me is this way as well. It might be a teeny little sliver, but what happens is we start to open up this Kuan Yin energy, which is compassion, radical compassion. So my question to you is, Jordan saying, I don't like that I'm the first one to judge myself. So that this is perfect. So like for you, Jordan, everyone watching, so Jordan doesn't like the judge, the inner critic, the one that judges himself first. What is it for you? What is it for you that you don't like about yourself? And I would write it down. And then for Jordan, like, that's so powerful that you brought that one up. Lack of discipline, great. So the lack of discipline, that's a facet on the diamond, right? All these different parts. And I guarantee you there's a gem, there is a positive in the lack of discipline. Examples might be the person who lacks discipline is probably highly creative, probably relaxed, goes with the flow, things like that. So there's a plus. But what I want to say about Jordan, the judge, that's kind of the final frontier. It's like, I like to think of it in that sense, is what happens when you no longer judge the judge? What happens when the critic is going mad inside and the judge is just judging everyone and judging you, and you actually can bear witness instead of, oh, I hate that I'm judging myself. You can witness, oh, the judge is even judging that I judge myself, and you go back further, like, oh, can I love the judge instead of judging the judge? And that's just a meditation. It's not something our minds can really grasp, but to sit in the space of, oh, sweetheart, and see that element, that dimension of the self that's just like, I am the judge. Yes, you are acquitted for life. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, yes, exactly. So really good. And Fanny, we'd love for you to take this on. How can you and anyone watching, whether you've been to a retreat or not, create the Maldives in your home? Create such a delicious space that you can slip into in any moment and enjoy the sensation. When I'm working, for example, I turn on beach waves, I light incense, I have candles going, I have flowers. I just create a beautiful atmosphere wherever I am, because it has nothing to do with having to get something from someone or go somewhere to feel good. We can feel good now, and creating an atmosphere is really powerful for that. We actually have a program called Soul Sanctuary that guides you through creating your sacred space and creating your clear vision on my website.
And Liz, you brought up, what if you leave the judge? That language actually, when I feel into that, it's like we're abandoning rather than embracing. So instead of leaving the judge, it's actually acknowledging and embracing the judge. Embracing the judge as part of your experience. The judge is here, so can you acknowledge it? Can you embrace it? You don't have to feed it. It's kind of like feeding the black or white wolf. Which one's going to win? The one you feed. So you feed the one that serves you, and the one that doesn't, or the voice or the sound, the thoughts, the judgments, then you can drop those. You can actually say, I choose not to reinforce that. Yeah. So when I say drop it, it's not reinforcing it. Reinforce what is of service to your vision, your high vibration, and your purpose. Okay.
Yes. So that's question number 1. We hope that helps. And I would say, what are the 3 elements that you choose where you can, by the way, you don't need a whole room for sacred space. You can just create a little altar in your room, just like create, or even a space in nature to return to and create the Maldives for yourself. And then remember, Fanny, remember her energy. Remember how she showed up with that unconditional love. And literally take your hands and bring that to yourself, and imagine yourself, you're like, it's like, bring on the true mother, the Kuan Yin, and just, oh, sweetie, I know it's hard. I love you so much. I know it's okay to feel all this. And then, oh, there's so much I can say on this.
There's so much juiciness. We could do a whole workshop right now.
Yeah, but just create a beautiful atmosphere and let your hands, the body relaxes, cortisol levels go down when we touch the body physically.
Even ourselves. Yeah.
So, okay, second question is from Caden. Thank you so much, Fanny, for your question. And by the way, Niti, if you're watching, I thank you for your comment, and we're just holding you in the light, and we have a very special offering. It's totally free, which we're not announcing yet, but it's in conjunction.
We'll specifically address what you're sharing.
Around purpose.
So keep your ears open for it.
Yeah, around knowing your purpose, clarifying your purpose. Okay, so Caden, wow, great comment and question. So Caden says, if we are commanded to find our purpose by some dire warning or circumstance, we usually do it and do it well. However, in this world of unsurpassed comforts, we can let our purpose slide for decades, letting ourselves get sidetracked or just never summoning up the faith and bravery to face our purpose. How can we avoid such a fate? Or is it our own personal hell needed in order to conjure up what we need? I'd love to hear your ideas on this. I love this. Basically what I'm hearing you say, you're a great writer, by the way. But I would say that in your question, what I'm hearing is usually we have to just like completely collapse and go through hell in order to awaken to our purpose. is that really needed or necessary? Can we live our purpose when things are going well? Can we actually have the drive and the bravery to move forward when things aren't, when we're not cornered, like when we have to figure it out on the spot? I'll say...
Hell is welcome. Hell is 100% welcome. If you actually welcome hell in, actually literally welcome hell in, if you welcome hell in, it may not have to come.
Wow. Whoa. Okay. Woza. Keep going.
Okay, so if hell is welcome, then it doesn't, there's no fight, there's no war. Hell is welcome to come and it's welcome to go. There's an amazing saint, Anandamayama, probably the most famous female saint of India. She said about her body, she goes, in this body, illness is welcome to come anytime it would like, and it's welcome to go anytime it would like.
Wow.
This house is always open. So if you're in the space of that opens the doorway from answering the last question and this. Yes, so hell is welcome, and from that place, we don't know. Maybe it's needed, maybe it's not. Each one of our journeys is different. The key is create a vision, get somebody to hold you accountable to it, make yourself accountable by bringing somebody else on board to make yourself accountable.
Yeah.
It's 60% more likely that you'll achieve your vision if you share it with somebody else, and if you write it down, it's 90% more likely. So get somebody to hold you accountable.
I will say this though, I do a lot of coaching and I've done many clarity calls with just countless amounts of people through the decade, through the dozen years or so. And I have learned that if somebody is not on fire or clear with their purpose, I don't even offer my services anymore, because there's not a drive to do anything it takes to move forward. So I really get your question, Caden, and what you're sharing. And I don't think that's necessarily a problem. A baby needs to cook in her mama's belly or his mama's belly for 9 months. And then at 9 months, it's like, pa-chicka-pow! And it's like, get me out of here. I'm ready. And there's just no choice but to leave. Like, I have to move into, it's too small now, right? The current reality. There is a point on all of our journeys where our reality becomes too small. It is no longer a fit. So like that hell Jason's talking about, it literally becomes hell. Like, I can't be here anymore. Yes, you have to be ripe. So when somebody is ripe, it's like to trust that, you know, when you're ripe, when you're literally like itching, like I don't care what it takes. I don't care how hard I'm going to have to work. I don't care what I need to do to come up with the money to invest in myself or to do this thing I really want to do. I'm doing it. And it's in that belief and it's in that choice that everything works out. Money is everywhere. Opportunities are everywhere. But if we're not in that state, that hyper, like, I choose, I must, I am, I declare, if we're not in that state, typically a person's just going to coast for a while, and that's okay. They just need to cook more in the womb, so to speak, right?
And the reality is, whatever that purpose is, if you need to go through a lot of pain and suffering in order to clarify your purpose or decide to move on it, because a lot of people have an idea, and more than an idea, they have a knowing of what they're here to do, and then they just sit back and don't take responsibility for it. And so in that, it may, I don't even know where I'm going with this exactly, except the fact that you may need to cook and you may not. The key is if you have a vision, you have a purpose, and you know it, you've discovered it, then at some point the purpose becomes more important than how you feel or what you want or your comforts.
Yeah.
Because we're so inclined to stay comfortable, stay safe, stay in the known. And moving towards your purpose requires going out on that adventure. The adventure you love to watch in the movies and on the shows is your adventure. And the only way it's going to turn into a blockbuster is if you actually go on it.
Take the journey, take the leap. Or, I can't say, but the person we were just collaborating with, she was like, jump, jump. And she was just so on fire. So if you are, I'm curious for you guys watching, if you are somebody who's like, there's no question, now is the time, whatever it takes, will you hit the like button or write a comment? So I'm curious where you guys are. Are you in that space of like, no, life is good. Like, I'm good where I am. I see my purpose on the horizon, but I'm in no rush. feel free to write that in the comments. But if you are somebody who's like, I'm ready to jump, I know that there's like my mission, I'm not going to waste another second not doing what I love, not sharing my gifts, then just click yes or like or whatever you want to write in the comments, or, you know, yeah. But I will tell you, if you are in a hell state, like Jason was saying, and you actually become the one that, congratulations, that's awesome. And you actually put yourself in the position of, I'm getting distracted, but this is important. Whenever people lose their jobs, I know you're consciously leaving your job, and it feels scary, powerful.
Yeah.
I mean, really powerful. Thank you for sharing that. We're holding you, and you are so supported. Providence sets in when you take that leap. And I would say just have a plan. In other words, you know, put some sort of plan in practice so you're moving forward, doing what you love every day, and getting whatever support you need to make sure you stay in alignment all the way through. Like, oh my God, you're on the leading edge, and I just applaud you and honor you. But we often say to people who have actually lost their jobs, congratulations! Because life often, it's like the baby being pushed out of the womb, like the contractions just come. Life does this to us as well, and it's for us. It's for the expansion, the inevitable evolution. So whatever you're going through, whatever we're going through at this time is literally all part of the divine's hand in creating a bigger, more beautiful, more abundant life for you. Is that not freaking incredible? Like, really tap into that. But the mind, the fear is going to go, oh my God, poor me. I can't believe this is happening. And that's just not true. But that's where 80% of the work is whatever this mind is supposing or saying or chattering about is where the work is. Just like Jordan identified the judge, right? It's like, oh, can I just witness the judge and move forward anyway? Even if the whole world judges me, I'm still going to do what I love. I'm still unsure of a purpose, but I really, okay, let me just we're going to take a few questions if there are any. Let me see, it went away. Okay, Melissa from Lemonade.
Yeah, I know. Hi, Melissa.
I'm still unsure of a purpose, but I really know that I welcomed hell when I came home from, where did it go? Okay. When I came home from the retreat in September, our so
retreat.
Lovely, she went through hell after our retreat. I realized I couldn't sustain, oh my goodness, where'd it go? There we go. I realized I couldn't sustain that freedom and keep this eating disorder up. Wow, powerful.
All right, so you're facing it. Good job, Melissa.
And thank you. And Melissa, I've been seeing you on Facebook. I've been seeing it come through. I don't always watch all the videos, but I see it like slide through. And I know you're sharing something powerful because a lot of people are engaging, and I can just tell as I quickly open up my Facebook. And I honor you for being seen and holding the light through your challenges, right? And that I mean, that's incredible. So you came to the retreat. You had some powerful experiences there, shining the light, breakthroughs, and then you came home and your eating disorder, or the eating disorder, was no longer a match. It really is part of the plan, and I'm grateful y'all helped push me to free myself, so I know I can face this. Yes. And so I love it. That just slips off like an old garment. It no longer fits. That old way no longer fits. So through these birthing pains of who you are beyond the past eating disorder, we just are singing songs of love and welcome into this world, this new you that's birthing. Like, we love you so, so much, so much. Thank you for sharing.
And remember, you're not the eating disorder. You're something much greater than that, experiencing this in this moment. So create some space between you and that. You may be experiencing this and you're still experiencing going through it and transforming it. Yeah. And in the reality is keep returning as much as you can and identifying with the truth of who you are rather than what you're experiencing. An experience comes and goes. Who you are remains.
Yeah, we can all do that right now. Just let's complete here by taking a deep, deep, deep breath in and exhaling it out. Another one just like that. Inhaling deeply in. Uncross your legs if they're crossed. Exhale out. We're going to take 3 more. Inhale deeply in. Receive something good here and hold the breath. Take another sip in. And exhale it out. 2 more. Be brave with how much you're willing to receive here. Inhale in, receive something good here. Receive, receive. Hold it in gently. Exhale it out. And 1 more just like this. In the place inside that needs love more than anything, breathe all the way in to the secret crevices of your own being. Hold it in. Receive fresh life force. Whoo, and exhale out. Let the dead leaves fall. Oh, Mandy. We
Lots
love
of
you
love
guys.
to each
So,
of you.
Aho, Jordan,
Yes.
and to each
Jai,
of you.
Jai Ma.
Thank you for your comments and shares. We love connecting like this. And feel free to write your comments below. And in the next video, we'll answer your questions. And yeah, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. It lets us know if you like Q&As, and we'll do more of them. And I send you guys a huge, huge embrace.
Lots of love. Wow, that was a big kiss.
I know.